So I am back with Laura and we have come back to film Lost and Found. How poetic.
Basically, again, when we reached out on Twitter and said we were going to collaborate, you guys came back and said you are interested in knowing what to do when you don't know what to do. And maybe that means that you're a little bit lost with career or love or life or relationships, or just generally struggling kind of to establish who you are and who you want to be. I never feel more empowered than when I've been, you know, sat having a drink with my girlfriend. So this is kind of like the online YouTube.
Yeah, let's just have a chat,
equivalent.
guys.
Yeah.
Let's just have a chat and
let's talk
about life.
How are you?
How the hell are you? Let us know.
Yeah, no, do let us know. That's the thing, when people do reach out to me in email, which I say very openly on my blog, write to me, talk to me, be part of the tribe, what's going on with you, it makes me feel less alone, and when I feel less alone, I feel braver.
Yeah.
And sometimes I think you have to be brave.
It's a bit of a confidence boost, isn't it?
Yeah.
As well.
Yeah, it inspires you, you know people are watching, and so you feel like you can be braver.
Yeah. So, let's just chat.
Yeah, okay, boogie. We made some notes.
We have. Here's
a guided chat. It's a guided chat.
Don't read it. Secret. You can start, Laura.
Well, that you're not alone. I think we've just, I mean, I write my stories on the internet as a way to process that information, and that people would then reach out to me and say, I feel the same, I didn't know other people existed, this has really helped me. That reminds me that I'm not alone, and so I think this is an opportunity to remind you that you're
like
not alone.
That's the beauty, I think, of blogs and the internet and internet friendships. Like, there's this whole kind of stigma around it being a bit weird, isn't there? Like, and it's just not weird. Like, I would have never in a million years met Laura if it hadn't been for my blog. Like, she reached out to me on a professional level, and it transpires that she's actually really awesome, and that now we have a really good friendship and we can do stuff like this. But yeah, it's true. Like, the internet is a beautiful place for you to be able to be who you want to be without any question. So if you have something to say, don't be afraid to say it.
But it's not a place to manufacture somebody who you would like to be, and there is a difference. The reason that I reached out to you to work with you, and the reason we've developed a friendship, is because you're a lifestyle blogger, a fashion blogger, but you keep it real. There are a lot of lifestyle blogs out there that are just stylized image after stylized image of, look at my perfect life, this is also wonderful.
Look at, and even this meal I've cooked is amazing and looks like it should be on Pinterest.
Yeah. That's deceptive, and that's not real. That's not how real people live. I think it's possible to make every day a masterpiece, and I think it's possible to be creative in everything that you do. But a lot of what is featured within the communities that you work in specifically, it's not real.
No, and that's the thing to remember. Like, you feel alone and you feel isolated because these people that you're looking at on the internet seem to have this perfect life. Like, God knows why you would even begin to look at Laura and I and think that. But I mean, some of you might do.
Well, speak for yourself,
well, you know, like, we're not, and especially like us, maybe not so much, but like other people that are idolised on the internet for the same things that like Laura and I do. Remember that it isn't all bloody sprinkles and amazing rainbows and all of this. Like, everybody has like flaws, and just because it doesn't seem that way on the internet doesn't necessarily mean that's not the case.
When we have access to people's lives in the way that we do, Instagram, Twitter, blogs, Facebook, we think we know people, and you will never know the people that exist on the internet, because they're only showing you what they want to show you.
And yeah, it's really important to remember that. Like, because you feel you're sat at home watching them like, oh my god, I'm like sat in my pyjamas and I feel like shit. Like, so are they. They're sat in their pyjamas editing that amazingly pretty video.
If you really want to know the truth.
Yeah.
Megan is wearing her pyjama bottoms right now. So you see, glam on top.
It's not real, and so you're not alone.
So in terms of feeling lost, or unsure about navigating the muddy waters that, I mean, are your 20s, or there could be further even further.
Or younger.
Or younger, yeah. You aren't alone. Seek comfort and reach out. Know that the images of other people aren't necessarily true reflections of what are happening in other people's lives. It's so easy to say don't compare.
Yeah, of course you're going to compare. Like, I compare myself to Laura.
Compare realistically.
Yeah, realistically. And the fact that, yeah, like, great things do happen to people, but it's also not without hard work. Like, people don't just get handed, like, amazing opportunities. You have to work hard for them. And I think when I know a lot of people just sit back and think, oh, it's so unfair that my life isn't taking that path. And it's not, because you're not putting yourself out there enough.
Yeah.
You're spending too much time being negative about what other people have. It's great to have role models and people to look up to and people to... It is, yeah, definitely. But it's also important to make sure that you're doing everything you can to be the best version of yourself.
Yeah.
And then you will feel less alone automatically.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. For me...
For you?
Particularly, I had a really rough time in my early 20s. Just, like, totally lost. I hadn't gone to university... Had this boyfriend, we lived apart, like we travelled a bit. It felt like everybody knew what was going on but me. And one of the biggest lessons that I learned was, no matter what you're doing and how far the path you are, when you know it's not right, it can be braver to stop than to see something through.
Yeah, and I think like Laura's testament to that for her early 20s, you cut the ties, didn't you, and you started again, which can almost feel impossible.
May you always have the courage to start again if you feel like you need to.
And even when, like, and that was Laura's early 20s, some people could be watching this video and thinking, oh, well, now I'm like mid to late 20s and I need to start again and that's too late.
Anytime.
Well, I need to start again right now, and that's really scary because, yeah, I do feel like, oh, well, like, I'm meant to have my life on track now because I'm 25 and I'm pretty much 40, so like, but that is how you feel, isn't it? You do feel that way, and like, I'm finding it difficult.
When 30 is looming.
Yeah, like, and I am finding it difficult, but it is what it is, and it is better to sometimes walk away from something and start fresh and start again than hold on to something that isn't working, whether it be a job, whether it be a relationship, whether it be a friendship.
Because we do live, like, I think it's a very common thing to say, well, you know, you've come this far, see it through, and then what's the worst that can happen? But and that is very common. I've heard that time and time again.
And we're not saying that that's not right. Like, it's you can see things through,
but you can also walk away.
It's also okay to walk away. That it is like, it's okay to make mistakes, but to not have regrets. Like, you can, it could be a mistake to walk away, but it shouldn't be a regret because whatever choice you make, you're learning from it.
True that. True that. And yeah, you're saying that with attitude and snapping your necks and owning it, but at the time, seldom does it feel like that. It's only in hindsight.
In hindsight.
For me, definitely.
It's a wonderful thing.
When I'm making those decisions, owning them is the most difficult thing in the world.
But even making decisions is the hardest thing. Like, from somebody who suffers like quite badly with anxiety, like, even doing anything can sometimes feel like it's just too much. Like, I would much rather just go away and forget anything ever happened than deal with it. Like, and that's true for a lot of people, I think. Like, and yeah, it's not the best way to deal with things. It's easy for us to sit here now and be like, yeah, like, you're strong enough, you're an independent woman or man, and you can walk away from situations, but we're not saying it's an easy thing to do, because it's not.
Yeah.
Like, and I know when you're going through crap as well and you do feel really lost and alone, you feel like you can be a hindrance on people. Like, if you've had this thing going on for ages and months and you're like, oh, I can't keep moaning about it to people because they're gonna get fed up with me, and it's not. Like, as long as you're trying to do the best thing you can for you, that's what your people are there for. Like, they are there to support you and help you, and they want to. And it's also to remember, like, easy to forget that people are there to support you, and don't get angry with people that are there to help you, because it's very easy when you're not wanting to hear what people are saying.
Well, but then also, everybody is going to have an opinion. Yeah. Everybody's opinion is going to be different, so it's your job to sift through those.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just so hard. I'm just like reflecting now on the times where I really, there was one moment particularly in my early 20s that went on for about 3 years where I was just like, everybody has got it figured out but me, and I felt like a failure, and Like, it pains me to think about now.
Yeah. It's not easy, and for the people that do feel really lost and alone, like, it's all well and good to have somebody sitting there telling you you're not, but there is nothing that can kind of really take away that ache that you feel of like feeling so desperately alone and like
out at sea.
Yeah, and that is like normal to feel. You just need to recognise that there are actually people who feel that too. It's okay to feel those feelings because everybody does. And you're really like massive, like, you really believe in travelling, don't you? Like, as a way to...
Well, I mean, that I'm a big believer in travel because that was what saved me. And I know the old saying that, you know, you can travel 1,200,000 miles and you'll still be the same person when you get there. Actually, I don't think that's true.
I mean, I'm not a traveller. Everybody has always kind of got this negative view of, oh, if you're going to like run away from your problems. No, it's not running away. It's going away to remember who you are. Like, it's not like, even if it's not another country, you do it more kind of like extreme and go travelling, and if that's what you want to do, then, and if you can, then great. But if not, like, take that holiday from work, or take the summer holiday from school or whatever, and go somewhere different, get yourself out of the scenario, and just remember like who you are and what you're doing and why you want to do it. Because and running away from it, if that's what you want to call it, is fine, because it is still going to be there when you come back, but you'll look at it with a fresh pair of eyes because you've come away from the situation, you've taken yourself out of it. And
because sometimes all you need is that space.
We're sat here, and don't think we're sat here filming this because, oh, like, well, we're in a good place and we have like a right to tell you how things are going to be great. Like, I'm probably going through one of the hardest times of my life. You're going through things that like
changes.
Yeah, we're all going
through changes. I'm gonna get through a video without singing one day.
But no, like,
I'm too reflective and pensive to dance now. I feel
sorry.
Like
I thought there needed to be a little bit of joy.
Always.
But this is what I mean. Like, we're here. This is just as much as like for people that asked for this kind of video. I hope it kind of helps on some kind of level.
But
like,
the reason that
the
reason that we said, oh my god, yeah, that's a really good idea, is because we know what it is to need
that support.
Like,
and it can sometimes feel like nobody understands, but know that I understand, Laura understands. So comment below and share how you feel, and the other people that watch this video, reply to them, and we'll reply, and we'll just it's
talk.
It's a place, communicate. You can make it what you want to make it, and you just got to roll with it, roll with the punches, and
amen.
I feel like I've had a workout.
I know, me too. I feel like we can finish this video in the same way that we finished our last video though. It's the same sentiment. Go forth, grab life by the balls, be brave, and sometimes the bravest thing that you can do is be vulnerable. So be vulnerable and brave. Be bravely vulnerable.
Be brave. I'm going to go and actually get dressed. Goodbye.